Kenzie.
Thank you, Madam Acting Deputy President. Australia is at a critical time in our history. The COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in an economic crisis not seen for generations in Australia. It has restricted economic activity, disrupted supply chains and limited the movement of goods and people. It's led to high levels of unemployment and a recession. It's exposed Australia's reliance on other countries for manufactured goods, particularly those critical to health services, and our dependence on global supply chains. It has exposed our limited manufacturing capability, particularly the ability to pivot and adapt in times of national crisis to produce the goods we need. We need to have strategic capability in our own country, onshore. We've got fragile supply chains for a variety of reasons. We can't always rely on trading partners to get the services we need offshore. We need to start making Australia make again, and regional Australia has a significant role in doing that. The National COVID Taskforce has identified the need to reinvigorate and bolster Australia's manufacturing capability. Regional Australia is perfectly placed to lead our manufacturing recovery. Regional Australia is the engine room of the Australian economy, and it has been for more than a century. Back in 1873, Melbourne blacksmith John Furphy embraced the opportunities of living in Victoria's Goulburn Valley and expand and grow his business. Now, 147 years later, the Furphy name is not only synonymous with a refreshing ale, but J. Furphy and Sons and Furphy Foundry is a regional Australian manufacturing success story. Today, there are thousands of manufacturing success stories out there right across regional Australia. Derwin Industries is 100% Australian owned and operated by the Evans Group. Doug Evans' vision, and that of his sons, Stuart and Craig, is to ensure that their Wodonga manufacturing site expands to make Australia self-sufficient in crucial water and gas pipe-fitting components, instead of relying on Chinese imports, and at the same time growing a new export market. There's innovation and vision from regional manufacturers, not just in my home state of Victoria. Marquee Macadamias, based in Bundaberg, Queensland, and in Lismore, New South Wales, is a visionary regional cooperative food processor. It's again 100% Australian grower-owned, and it's the world's largest macadamia processor. This regional business adapts other nut processing technologies for their needs through research and development, and theirs is a simple strategy: to be the world leaders in macadamias. It is that innovation which builds their competitiveness, and they need trade settings to support that ambition. I'm excited by our government's investment in $1.5 billion over the next 4 years for our modern manufacturing strategy, supporting 6 national manufacturing priorities, being in resources, technology and critical minerals processing, food and beverage, and I'd like to see fibre manufacturing added to that, medical products, recycling and clean energy, defence and space. Consider this list. This list is full of already existing operators out there in rural and regional Australia as manufacturers. The New Press Group, based in Cardiff in New South Wales, manufactures leading-edge products to the mining, building, aerospace, defence and medical industries. It's a great regional business, supplying the world and supplying highly sophisticated parts for fighter jets. I want to thank the Business Council of Cooperatives and Mutuals and HunterNet Cooperative in Newcastle for inviting me to the Hunter Valley region last week so I could better understand the opportunities and the challenges manufacturing businesses in regional areas face. And there are some challenges to overcome. Regional development frameworks remain fragmented. Rising energy costs and the impact the competitiveness of existing and emerging advanced manufacturers in Australia. And one thing I heard time and time again from these advanced manufacturers was their lack of skilled workforce out there in the regions, and that is why education is so vital. Universities need to equip their graduates, their researchers need to engage in small to medium enterprises, not simply the big boys, and to be flexible enough and adaptive enough to do that. And our TAFE system needs a complete overhaul. We also need to harmonise those trade qualifications, if you like, across TAFE, so that businesses operating in border towns or across jurisdictions can get the apprentices that they need and be able to move their workforce around as required. We've known it for a long time. that our research and development pipeline and framework in this country just isn't working, lagging behind the world in our investment in it and also our commercialisation of the innovation that we do. We need to catch up. We also need to join up our infrastructure, just not hard infrastructure of roads, rails, ports, and assisting with the freight task, but our communications infrastructure is so important for advanced manufacturing to grow and prosper. There is also, however, an abundance of opportunity for advanced manufacturing in regional Australia. Proximity to raw materials such as our fabulous agricultural products, our energy and mineral resources will prove advantageous through the establishment of vertically integrated supply chains. We're also blessed out in the regions with an abundance of natural resources and a highly advanced resources and agriculture sector. It makes no sense to talk about advanced manufacturing while we send our raw products overseas for processing only to pay a premium when that finished product returns to our shelves from overseas. There's a considerable scope to move regional Australia up the value chain by focusing on the entire supply chain, not just the original raw product. There's plenty of jobs out in regional communities now and a growing population base to supply a skilled workforce for manufacturers looking to expand. ABS data shows regional Australia attracted 65,000 more than it lost to capital cities, which is fabulous news, turning around that brain drain that we've been experiencing over previous decades. Our city millennials know the appeal of life in regional cities and towns, and a recent report by Regional Australia Institute showed more millennials have moved from Melbourne and Sydney. Sydney experienced a net loss of 37,000, and that leads to what we in the regions know, that life is good. You can have a great sustainable career in regional Australia, doing something you love, and a great lifestyle as well. We have room to live and grow and play, and I think COVID-19 has really highlighted how that extra space that you enjoy out in the regions is much prized, and we've seen a renewed interest and a significant increase in queries around real estate out in regional cities and capitals. Jack McEwen, Australia's most significant and longest-serving Minister for Trade, who forged our post-Second World War economic boom, said, "Australia is one of the few countries in the world that is not only self-sufficient in food and important raw materials, but has an export surplus in these things." And he went on to say, "It would be a great mistake if our manufacturing potential were to be neglected or underestimated." I share John McEwen's vision for a strong and prosperous and sovereign Australia that actually enjoys the security and benefits of an industrialised economy and an advanced manufacturing sector employing hundreds of thousands of Australians. Economic security means jobs. We need to get those production lines humming. We need to restore our sovereign manufacturing capability, and we need to make Australia make again. Thank you.
Senator Walsh.